Hi, and welcome back to Stage 729. We are going to have a fun, and I'm going to tell you right now, off-the-chain show. We have with us our special guest, Mr. Eddie Parker, and go by Eddie P, comedian. And then always, John Tay, our co-host for Stage 729. So, Mr. Parker.
Yes.
You've been very busy. Tell us, what have you been doing?
First, how do I got to get this out the way for my baby when she see this? Hey, Danny, Dookie.
Now, y'all know he's a comedian. Everybody knows him. So, first of all, tell us a little bit about yourself. I know you're from Peoria a little bit, aren't you?
10 minutes? That's
Okay.
all I get. If I get 10 minutes, that's going to be the whole interview. I'll tell you. Okay, so my name's Ed Parker. Everybody know me as Eddie P. Eddie with a Y, the Kung Fu comic. I'm a self-defense practitioner, instructor, private security guy, Dollar Tree guy. I used to run Foot Locker, positive African-American for our role model for our community. What else?
You the hardest working man in Peoria.
Bumbleclad. I'm not a Jamaican man. No.
You close enough to it.
Yeah, something like that. No, I mean, you know, people know me to be the silly guy, funny guy, haha man, but I got a serious side too, and it's like, you know, with the martial arts and all that stuff. So I don't know if that's what you want me to talk about primarily.
We want you to talk about whatever you want to tell the community, because number one, I know you are in entertainment, so
Yes,
you can touch on that. I know you do self-defense.
Yes, ma'am.
And then we'll take it from there. But go ahead. You tell us what you want us to know about you and what you want the audience from Stage 729 to know.
Stage 729.
In the house.
In the house. Woo. I've seen. I mean, you gave me a thing to go off of, and now I'm stuck. I even prayed earlier about what am I gonna say to let these people know I have a serious side. I've been traveling doing private bodyguard work for like past 15, 20 years now. I've been doing stand-up off and on for about the same time. Just had my annual birthday party comedy show March 4th, the Limelight Eventplex, where I'm the head of security at. Amazing time, really fun with a bunch of friends and family. A bunch of my nephews came, roasted me and stuff. Well, my man headliner, Sean Morgan, my nephew Jason Jenkins, Chris Hightower, Ray Phillyfield. Who else was out there? A couple of my buddies that's friends from childhood. Amori Robinson, my man Bird, they all did.
Oh, you had a full house.
Yeah,
I missed it this year.
It's
Last year I went, but this year.
If God give me another year of life, I'm gonna have another one. That's what I look at. I'm actually in the process of setting up a Christian comedy show, to be honest with you. So that I want to do a tour. I've been talking with the people from St. Paul Baptist. Give it up, St. Paul.
Yes. St. Paul in the house.
Yes, indeed. Yes,
St.
indeed.
Paul's.
So, with Sister Christy Hubbard, I've been talking to her for quite a while now. We just have to sit down and get some dates in order. And once we do that, I'm going to start there, of course, at my home church, and then just sell the show to the people who wants to see it. You know, Christians need to laugh too. People get a misconception about who we are and what we do and some of the things we say, and I think sometimes they get it misconstrued, because just because you a saint don't mean you can't sing. You know what I mean?
Hold it, or laugh.
Yeah, exactly that one too. But other than that, I think I am the way I am, and I do what I do because of the self-defense discipline that I learned. I started doing martial arts at the age of 4. I'm at the ripe age of 43 now.
Praise God.
Amen. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I am a Christian for all y'all out there, so I don't know if that's something that y'all know about me. I may not always talk like it, walk like it, but I am. If it's a duck and it quack and walk like a duck, it's a duck. A Christian don't always do those things.
Look, we don't judge here, not on the stage.
For sure. But yeah, other than that, I mean, what do you want to know about Ed Parker?
Well, first of all, you've been doing the martial arts, and I know you're trying to put a positive spin out in the community. You've done a couple of community events, and what's the target audience that you're trying to get, and then how can people take advantage of learning the martial arts? Martial arts.
All right. Well, I'm on Facebook. It's under SOCA, S-O-C-A, School of Combative Arts. You can find my page there. I teach Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays, 5:30 to 7:30 at the Peoria Dream Center, 714 Hamilton Road. Well, I was going to say Boulevard. I don't know why I was going to say that.
Oh, that's okay. Get it straight now. They can find you.
I got multiple stages where I teach at. I taught for the longest at 2240 Town Line Road out there at G-Fit Guardian Fitness. So I got a collaboration with Starks. I can come out there and do a seminar anytime. I do private seminars. Just did a thing with you, for the women's healthcare thing, you know, to promote self-awareness and stuff. I look at it like this. I don't have no age group that I cap it off at, because everybody should know martial arts. I think that if society as a whole knew martial arts and understood that, it means peace with your enemies. When you understand and have a confidence about yourself to understand that, I don't care what you say, what you do, just don't put your hands on me,
Right.
then you cool. And it's even deeper than that. It's deeper than that, because anytime you have a physical altercation, you're really fighting with yourself. I don't want to get all preachy, but I mean, technically at the end of the day, martial arts teach you how to put your body, mind, and spirit as one. And once you get that understanding about peace overall, I fight to keep the peace if I have to, but
Right.
at the end of the day, no one really want to fight, because it's the Hatfield McCormick's all over again. If I fight you, you fight me, and my brother and cousin and this, that, and other, and there's a big old, cluster, and
It's
it
messy.
it is. It gets yucky.
Well, I know Mr. Adele was on the show
Yes,
last
indeed.
year
Yes,
and had John Tay and I up here trying to.
He almost kicked my butt.
Oh man, you're a big dude though, man. That's a lot of butt to kick, man.
John Tay could take him because I wasn't going to stand up there and get whipped by Mr.
I can
Adele.
try. I wouldn't cross paths with you or Robert.
I'm
Honestly.
blessed, man. I'm blessed. I'm telling you what. I tell you what, y'all. Anybody know me? You know me for a while. I mean, my thing is this: I don't want to fight nobody, because they made something called a gun. That's the ultimate weapon, and that's the sad thing about it. I'd rather you learn this instead of doing this at the
Yeah.
end of the day, because it gives you a better. Most of these people and kids, not to get too off into that, but the reason why they do that is because they're afraid.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
fear. It's fear driven, and it's like if you have no confidence and no one to look up to, or no role models, or no one to guide you and push you in a certain direction, you go to the simplest fix, and that's a sad thing. It's a permanent fix. 'Cause
Right.
once you do that, most of my friends I grew up with, we fought and we became the
Oh,
best
yeah.
of friends. Then you know who could fight. So when something went down, be like, yo, we in this neighborhood playing basketball. These cats come over here. We finna run this, son.
See?
And that's how it was.
The old beat down
Yeah,
there.
that's what it was. So they was called break dancers. I think that's what it was. What, fool? You don't want none of this? It wasn't nobody really fighting. Wasn't nobody really fighting. It's like, what? You don't want none of this? But, I mean, we challenged each other on a different level. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Now it's like, and it's over.
Yeah.
It's over. Ain't no coming back from that. And it's not just that person that died, life is ruined, but so many people connected to them.
Disaffected.
It does. It's just it's a drip of poison in a pond, and everybody's gonna get a dose of it. No matter if you take 2 handfuls or 1, everybody's getting poison. And I mean, that's the analogy I give it, and the way I look at things. And with martial arts, what it does is it gives you a purpose, it gives you a meaning, and an understanding of peace above all things.
But
And
what
that-
about the discipline level, though? Because a lot of kids,
and see, that's-
parents put them in there for
Yeah,
that.
this is the thing, and I tell people all the time, because I got adults that come to me, I got teenagers and younger people as well. The discipline aspect takes time. It's not just, I'm going to tell you, it's like anything else. If it's something that you like to do, you'll continue to do it. When I first learned martial arts, I was 4. I hated it. I'm going to be honest with you. My uncle was my first instructor, so I had 2 levels of respect I had to show this guy. One, he my mom's big brother, big old swole black dudes. You know what I'm saying? If I'm allowed to say black dude on TV.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
You had already
cool.
said it, but yeah,
Right.
yes. And you're descriptive.
Yeah, right. So no, my uncle was my instructor, and then so I had to respect him as an uncle, and then he was my martial arts instructor. So once, just like the order of anything else, and in the military, you got the sergeants, lieutenants, and so on and so forth, colonels, or however it goes, but it's a ranking.
Right.
It's like that in martial arts. Once you realize, I was told, the quote goes, I don't want to misquote this, from white belt to black belt, you shape the tool. At black belt, you finally learn how to use it. And the concept behind that is you start off white, pure, knowing
Right.
nothing. And then as things progress and go, you start to get your yellow and the orange and the green and the blue and the purple and red and brown and so on. So I may have said that out of order, but people that know, I know my stuff. I'm just saying, it's just the whole purpose of it is it's an accomplishment. And each
Right.
time you get a higher level, and it's teaching you, okay, I started here, I didn't know nothing. And at the end, when you find out that you think you know everything, you find out how much you really don't know at the end, because it's all about the basics.
Now, let me ask the question, though.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever had to use your
Oh.
skills as a bodyguard? Because I don't know. Not
this
many
is the
people probably
thing.
know that you.
Right.
you do that.
Personal bodyguard stuff. This is the thing. Because of my size, for one, I don't have a lot of trouble. Because of my demeanor, I don't have a lot of trouble. Because I am a fun-filled, happy-go-lucky type person. A lot of people think I'm always joking around anyway. Some people don't. He don't know that stuff for real. And then they come and ask me a question. And I show them. I like, go to YouTube, go check out a couple videos. You see some of them seminars I did,
Right.
and then you'll see. And it's even been times where guys look at it like, oh, that's fake. That guy's letting you do that to him. I'm like, ah. Okay, come to the studio then. You come to the studio.
It ain't fake. Trust me.
No, yeah.
We were guinea pigs.
Right. I had a guy one time. I'm not gonna say no names or establishments because I don't want nobody be embarrassed because they know who they are, who I'm talking about.
When they see
and
that.
we were at a particular facility and there was a little square window that they could look in and see what was going on. And the guy kept walking by for days and days, and he had boxing gloves and he was doing what he was doing. And then he stopped one day and said, "When do you guys spar?" And I'm like, "You don't want to spar with us, man, because that's just one of those showboat, I want to act tough things." I'm like, "You don't want to do this. I don't want you to get hurt, and I don't want any of my students to get hurt." So I said, "But if you want, you come in, and if you do a half-hour conditioning with us, and if you pass the course or whatever, then I'll spar with you." And I already know what's going to happen because I already know how this goes and how things get down. The guy comes in, and we do our horse stances. A horse riding stance is a basic stance that's built off everything. And it's the same in Kung Fu. If you got weak stances, you got weak Kung Fu. Kung Fu is just a way of life. It doesn't really mean punching and kicking. It means a skill learned and then mastered over a lifetime.
And that's your stance like this.
That's one of the stances, the horse stance, horse riding stance. Look like you're riding a horse. And not to get too far off, I'll tell you, yes, I have used my skills, but I'm just kind of building up to this.
Yeah.
So the guy comes in and he does the time. I got you. I told y'all we're going to have to do another session.
Hold it. No, we're going to come right back to finish that up because they know I don't watch time very well. And then we also are live on the radio, too.
Oh, okay.
Not right now, but it will be.
Gotcha.
So I just want to thank the East Bluff Community Center and WAZU 90.7. Make sure you follow them on Facebook and also like their page. And also show some support. Support the station so that they can continue to fund and operate efficiently, effectively, and in our community. So we want that. Remember, WAZU at the Community East Bluff Center, 90.7 FM. Now,
also known in the hood as Wazoo.
Yes. And we don't call it that anymore because we want them to.
No, WAZU.
Yeah,
okay,
the call letters out. But we're going to let you wrap up because we're going to run into our next part.
Okay.
So as a guest.
The guy comes in, does the horse stand for about 5-10 minutes. Legs are shot. I already knew what was going to happen. And when he got done, he was sweating. So he said, "Yeah, man, you know what? I'm going to pass on the sparring." I said, "I kind of thought you would." And he went on. So it's been times where I had to go to a distressed situation, but when I show up, they look and be like, "I'm cool, man." The most I ever had to do was verbal judo. And it's more or less like, "Hey, you don't want this problem. Do you want to go home or you want to go to jail?" I think that got off training day or something like that. That's what I usually say.
Okay, Denzel.
Yeah, that's it. I usually say that, and the people like, "Okay, I'm cool," but that's it. I mean, I don't really have problems like that. I'm a fun-filled person. I beg grown men to stop before they have to get stopped.
Well, we appreciate you telling us a little bit in the community, and then again, can you repeat how people can
reach and contact me?
Yes.
Yes, like I said, it's SOCA, S-O-C-A, School of Combative Arts on Facebook. You can Google it. If you put Kung Fu in Peoria, it's me or my uncle's school that'll show up. It might be a couple other ones, but me and Grandmaster Dexter Parker, who was my instructor, is probably the only two African-American Kung Fu practitioners that are here, other than a few other schools that are, karate, kuksuwan, and taekwondo and other stuff like that.
Well, we're going to move on to the next topic, which is topic number 2. So you're involved in this. We're going to let John Tate take this one. This is on politics. Y'all know y'all want to talk about it, so go ahead. I'll let y'all shoot at the breeze on this one.
Well, as far as politics, the biggest story that's been all over the headlines in every medium is that the attempt to replace and repeal Obamacare by House representatives along with President Trump had not passed. It did not pass Congress, so we don't even know how it would have went should it have gone to the Senate. So it's been a lot of controversy, a lot of conflict, a lot of talk, a lot of hearsay, opinions, and all that jazz. But the facts really stand above it all. Not enough votes, no go.
Right.
In my personal opinion, I think that you have to think about how many people are really going to be affected by this change.
Mm-hmm.
You're talking about millions of people, not just a couple thousand, a few hundred thousand,
right.
Millions. And we're talking about the average American is going to be affected. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
The typical American that some people in Washington may not be able to relate to, and that's kind of the problem with those lawmakers. They don't understand what it is for the typical day for the typical American.
Right.
And when you tell the elderly, yeah, you're not going to be able to take advantage of that program anymore. You won't be able to have those kinds of subsidies.
And they're the most vulnerable. Other
Exactly,
than the
right.
low-income families,
Right.
they're the most vulnerable.
So you're talking about the elderly. They won't get support anymore.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so the what they call it the American Health Care Act or something like that.
Yeah, the AHCA.
So it was basically it basically creates a tax break for those who make above 200,000. So they get to save again.
Right.
While the people with less incomes, they have to pay more now.
Can I ask a question?
And then
are
with-
y'all in the 200,000 bracket?
I mean,
I'm just asking. I just want to
I'm
know.
be honest with you. My wife told me not to talk about politics or religion today, so I'm gonna take I plead the fifth on that one.
Okay, I'm not.
Well,
so
I'm just talking
you're
about what's already out there.
Right.
I mean,
Right.
you can just go right here, the touch of a finger, the tip of your finger, and see
Yep.
what's going on. But yeah, so according to the numbers, about over the course of 10 years, about 24 million people would be affected, and we have a nation of 350 million.
So figure the numbers.
That's a nice
Yeah.
little chunk of the country
Yes,
that'll
it
be
is.
affected.
Yes,
you
it
know what I
is.
mean? And so with that being said, yeah, so the less fortunate or the lower income people would have to pay more. The people with higher incomes would end up paying less.
Right.
The elderly would lose out on their subsidies, and it's just supposed to be okay.
And I know they didn't
and
understand
somehow
though.
it's supposed to be the goal towards world-class healthcare.
Right. That's
You know
not.
what I mean?
And I understand people didn't understand that Obamacare and the Affordable Care Act were the same thing. A lot of people did not understand that.
yeah.
So, that's lack of education. And then two, we don't want to put out there that people who can't afford it or afford the insurance, that they are going to be the ones that are going to be sick in the long run. So,
Absolutely.
yeah, that's who's
Absolutely.
going to be more affected. So
It's and I mean, and honestly, I thought that it was expected, but it wasn't like I hope it doesn't pass. I hope it doesn't pass. I mean, we don't have control of
you
these
be
things.
ready,
You know,
if it does.
but
Yeah.
to me, the most interesting thing about it is that Trump didn't come with some off the wall response to it.
No.
It was actually a level-headed response.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? It was more so encouraging.
Because in honesty, it needs to be improved. It would have worked if more younger people were buying into it. It might have worked.
And that's what made the Obamacare successful, because the younger people offset.
Yeah.
They were their contribution offset what the elderly would get. So everybody was okay with that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It kind of had a little flaw, but
we're younger. We're less likely to get sick or get hurt and whatnot versus
Right.
these people who have ailments and things of that
Yep.
nature.
And
So,
when more people with ailments sign up, well, that's what you get, So that's what happened. But hopefully they'll work it out.
so
Now,
that's like the biggest thing that I've been constantly hearing about.
well,
you know what I
the
mean?
local is coming up.
Yes.
The local,
The local.
Right?
Yes,
Yeah,
April
yeah,
4th.
yeah.
Yes. Make sure you vote.
I'm
April
gonna tell
4th.
you. I'm gonna tell you. Like I said, I'm not allowed to talk about politics or religion, so I'm teasing. My wife is hardcore into that. Seriously, I used to have that mindset, and I'm gonna be honest. Like most, they're gonna put who they want in office anyway. That they don't have nothing to do with me. I pay taxes. I can complain anyway. That's foolish thinking.
Yeah,
that's
you
foolish.
wanna always-
You have to do your part. Vote.
Yep.
Like
vote.
P Diddy and them said, vote or die.
Yeah, get engaged.
Well, you
Seriously.
can't complain once someone gets in there.
I mean, you can, because I done had that argument before too. People
Oh,
will.
well.
They still have their legitimate
matter.
right.
It
As a
doesn't matter.
citizen, I don't have to do that. I got my rights. Yeah, you do. But when something doesn't go your way with health care or, insurance or any type of other things later on down the line, you wonder why this is this way. Well, you
Right.
the one didn't push the button.
Right.
So, kick rocks, as
My
they
thing
say.
is, know your candidates.
Yep,
I did go to the forum that was at St. Paul Baptist Church with the mayoral and with the districts being represented, the 1st, the 4th, and the 5th, and the at-large. So it was very interesting, very educational to hear about everyone's background. But education seems to be the hot topic that everyone is focusing on.
It is.
is
It should be.
education.
It should be.
It
I
ought
mean,
to
it
be.
literally.
Absolutely.
That's my wife is a hardcore advocate about that.
That's life.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's life.
Thank you.
You
Point blank, bottom line. That's it. She always tell me,
you have to
further
learn,
education.
right.
I mean, think about people that are in
absolutely.
poverty. How are you going to get out of that situation? If you don't know what's going on or educated to know what's going on, you're going to be stuck on stupid. You're going to be just still stuck in that rut and like, oh, why ain't nothing happening right? Because you ain't educated to know what to do to get out of this hole.
Well, they kind of talked around affordable housing, which we know there is not affordable, good housing stock for people. One, because no one has the income to support it.
Right.
And then two, there's other issues about having affordable house and educating the home buyer, the new person that wants to roll into that,
Give you ridiculous, what is it, ARPs or your, what is it?
your approved.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you. See, you like my wife. She be having to fix me on that too. That comedy side. Come on. ARP, what are you talking about? A machine gun? What is this? Stop it.
Hold on, I thought you were talking about AARP, so I got it mixed up.
That too. Once again, that's right. I said, yeah.
But, we don't have affordable housing here, and none of them failed to mention that when they were up there talking about the federal, about the commission that is with the city of Peoria, and that is fair housing and employment. They didn't even mention that commission or have set in on it. So it was kind of, educational, trying to find out and listen to what people had to say. And there are disparities in the 61605. They want all the districts to come together and support each other. So, I don't know what to tell people, but I know this. I'm going to take a little break to say, continue to watch us every fourth Saturday at 7:30 on Public Access Television, Channel 22 Comcast, Stage 729, sponsored by Gospel Peoria TV. So make sure you follow us, like our page. We're on Twitter, Instagram, and we're also on YouTube as always. So anyway, last minute trend. We got to do a 10-minute, not 10-minute, trending topics or what's on your mind. So for closing remarks, we want to start with our guests first. What would you like to close with?
Oh, man.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no. Not the.
Dookie. I got a couple comedy shows coming up. I think, I'm not 100% for sure on this, but I got a guest spot on Jim Brewer. Jim Brewer's come to the Limelight May 20th. It's a lot of really neat and cool concerts and stuff coming up for the Riverfront. Nelly's gonna be here this summer.
I saw
Trace
that.
Atkins from Cowboy Friends. Hey, how? So I mean, stuff like that. It's a lot of neat stuff. That new Tall Boys and Tailgates thing. So other than that, I mean, y'all see me where y'all see me at. Dollar Tree, baby. Security, top flight security of the world. Thank y'all for having me on the show. I mean,
Thank you for being on there.
Love you, wife, kids. I love all y'all. Y'all my babies. You know what I'm saying? West Side.
All right. Your turn.
Closing remarks. There is an event going on Friday, March 31st. It's going to be at the Riverplex for everybody in the local area, in the Peoria area. It's going to be at the Riverplex. It's called Hustle and Flow. I'm putting on for my pastor. It's an event, and it's a family-friendly event. It's going to be from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Bring all the kids. Bring everybody you need to. It's going to be food, games, prizes. All kinds of activities. Come dressed in your workout gear. It sounds like it's going to be a really good event. It's to raise awareness for blood clotting and things of that nature. Hypertension is really important, especially within the African American community. So we need to be active. Coming from a nation that is deemed or dubbed the fattest nation in the world, or the biggest nation, heaviest nation in the world.
We need to be working out.
Yeah, the heaviest nation in the world.
Are we the biggest losers?
But it all goes back to that education. If you aren't educated on how to keep yourself healthy,
that's true.
And it's going to be a whole boatload of information for you. Excuse me, I'm trying to say boatload, just to make sure I said boat.
Okay.
I said boat.
Okay, I thought you were talking about our butts.
No,
I'm like, I'm
a
sorry.
Your butt ain't gonna fit in the boat.
A whole boatload of information, for you to have and to use. Other than that, let's keep the peace, and that's pretty much all I got. Let's be positive. Let's be peaceful. Oh, and the election is April 4th. April 4th. That's a Tuesday. 2 candidates, Corey Thomas, Mayor Jim Artis is the incumbent. If you don't know about the two, please get educated. Please know who you're voting for. it's okay to vote, but just know exactly who you're voting for too, because that actually matters too. And that's pretty much all I have. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you to all of our supporters. And thank you for all of the listeners for WACU 90.7 FM, the one and only. That's all I pretty much have, Michelle. Thank you.
You heard it. You heard it from both the guys. All I want to do is thank everybody for following us and watching us on Stage 729. We appreciate your support. Thank you again to our guest, Mr. Eddie P.
What? Thank you. I humbly bow for you. Peace and love always. Peace and love always.
And as always, we encourage you to stay educated, empower yourselves, make an impact and influence somebody. We want you to make sure you vote. And with saying that, from Stage 729, until next time, toodles.
Peace.
Gospel Peoria. Tune in Saturday nights at 7:30 on Comcast Cable Channel 22. Watch revealing positive information with various topics, people, and arts. Also, be sure to visit our Gospel Peoria TV Facebook and YouTube channel, where you can watch show segments, information, and updates about the program. That's Gospel Peoria TV on Comcast, Saturdays at 7:30 p.m., Channel 22. Now that's television with an innovative touch.